Today, we're diving into the world of database management. It's a cornerstone for any system that deals with data. So B, how would you define a good database management system?
A good DBMS is all about efficiency, scalability, and security. It should allow you to store, manage, and retrieve data without bottlenecks, and do so while protecting sensitive information. What do you think is the most critical feature in a DBMS?
I'd say data integrity. Without integrity, the system can't be trusted. You want your data to be consistent, accurate, and reliable. Do you have any examples of a situation where database integrity was compromised?
Yeah, I remember working on a project where we accidentally lost customer records due to poor transactional handling. It was a nightmare. If the DBMS had better integrity checks in place, it could have prevented that. But let's talk performance. How do you optimize performance in large databases?
A key aspect is indexing. By creating proper indexes, you drastically reduce the time it takes to find records. But you also need to strike a balance because too many indexes can slow down write operations. What about backups? How often should a system back up data?
Well, backups depend on the type of system. For critical data, I'd say real-time or hourly backups. For less sensitive systems, maybe once a day. The key is to have redundancy, so you're always prepared for any failure. Speaking of failures, have you ever worked with database recovery systems?
I have. Recovery systems are vital for disaster recovery. They allow you to roll back to a previous state if something goes wrong. It's like having a safety net for your data. Have you ever encountered any recovery issues?
Once, we had a huge data loss, and the recovery plan was not as smooth as we'd hoped. It took longer than expected, and we almost lost customer trust. It made me realize how important a tested, reliable recovery plan is. What are your thoughts on cloud-based databases versus on-premise ones?
Cloud databases are more flexible, easier to scale, and tend to have better security features. But the main trade-off is control. With on-premise, you have full control over your data, which some businesses prefer. But you also have to manage the infrastructure yourself. Do you think cloud databases are the future?
I think so. With the increasing demand for scalability and accessibility, cloud databases are becoming a no-brainer. Plus, many companies already rely on the cloud for other services. But some industries might still stick with on-premise for regulatory reasons.
That makes sense. There's definitely no one-size-fits-all approach. It all comes down to what works best for your business. So in the end, what's the one thing you'd recommend to someone starting out in database management?
Focus on understanding the fundamentals. Things like normalization, indexing, and data integrity. Once you have those down, the rest comes easier. What about you?
I'd say don't underestimate the importance of ongoing learning. Technologies evolve so quickly, and staying updated is key to managing databases effectively.
Agreed. And with that, we wrap up today's episode. Hopefully, we've given you some useful insights into database management. Until next time.